Hi, thanks for watching this video. Today we're going to have a look at the LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle Charms class. These little sets are a little bit like the Harry Potter Moment sets we got a couple of years ago, the fold-out books, if you remember those. These ones have got a couple more features, as you can see on the top here. There it is all folded up, and the good thing about these, you can still see everything when it's folded. It is like a nice little compact diorama. And in the top right hand corner there, that's just showing that you can slot this into the Great Hall and use it as another room in the castle. Portrait tile as well, we'll see what we've got in a minute. And I like the fact that you can use them in the castle as well, decorate the whole thing like it is in the films. And I do think this is a great price set. This is £17.99 here in the UK, and there's 208 pieces, and that's all put to good use. There's some nice little features, nice stickers as well, we'll talk about those in a minute. We've got 3 minifigures as well, Hermione, Ron and Flitwick. There's the first year Gryffindor uniform Ron. The instructions are simple enough for any builder, just a couple of steps for each page. And there it is. This whole little scene is based around the first book or the first film. I'm going to skip the build and go straight to the actual set. And here it is, just fold it all out. Some of these features detach, I'll show those in a minute. But here's our portrait, I think that's Salazar Slytherin. And this is all based around that scene, everyone know this, the Wingardium Leviosa scene, where Ron gets a bit annoyed about Hermione's perfection. And behind the classroom blackboard's a fireplace, quite a nice little feature. Little candlestick there as well. Let's just have a closer look. If you do remember on the film, the instruction Flitwick gave, swish and flick, Wingardium Leviosa, or Leviosa. Anyway, let's have a look at the minifigures. Flitwick first. This is obviously the first year Flitwick when he looked a bit more goblin-like. By the third film they changed him for the Choir Master version, they preferred that, but this is a nice little minifigure. But let's have a look at the other minifigures, Ron and Hermione. I think we'll have a look at Hermione first. She does appear in quite a few of these first year remake ones lately, but she's got 2 faces. A happy one and a kind of a, well, scared one a bit, but I think a happy one's a bit of a smug face because we know the scene. Here's Ron with the feather. He's got a nice happy face. I like to keep them all happy. He's got a bit of a worried face as well. Probably because he upset Hermione. You don't want to be doing that. But there he is, Ron, first year uniform. Hermione's a bit more tidy out of the two. Ron's got his hoodie undone. That is all nice details. They're first year Gryffindor uniforms. But this little table they got, that come out, and like I say, this is all based around that scene that you all know from the first film where, just like this, Hermione gets a Wingardium Leviosa spell done perfectly and gets congratulated by Flitwick, but that little spell's operated by a little lever at the back, just there. But let's have a look at the rest of the classroom, some of the other bits and pieces. And one thing I did want to mention, those stickers for the wood panelling, they've got some spells and some bits and pieces written on them. I noticed within all this you can see Wormtail, and that one next to the fireplace. And there's Padfoot on the third one along in the middle there. Just there, and by now I think some of you might know the rest. There's Mooney and Prongs on the second one, and as you might know, these are references to Peter Pettigrew, Sirius Black, Lupin and James, Harry's dad. They got up to all sorts of mischief in their younger days and created the Marauders map, but the rest of the Charms class has done really well. There's Flitwick's big old book that you stand on, so if you want to see him, I'll just fold this up and give you a look around the outside. And like I said, you can look and play with these without opening them up, but if you got the Grand Hall as well, these little lugs, they help it slot into that. It's just one on the left and one on the right there, and as you can see by that image at the top, that just slot in like that at the bottom. I'll just put all this back together. That is quite impressive the way they've made this. Everything does fit together quite neat and tidy, and I do love the way they made Flitwick stand on that book just as he is in the film. They look a bit dangerous, but he's just trying to get that little bit taller. There he is, and Hermione and Ron fit perfectly there. Then put the blackboard over the fireplace, bit of a fire hazard. But that little blackboard does serve a good purpose. That's got a little slope piece on it that pushes that little feather piece up so it sits perfectly in the middle, if you can see that there. That is a nice little cosy Charms class. It's got typical Hogwarts architecture all round. A typical old medieval oak door. Here we are. And those windows there, perfect for Hogwarts, they suit it well. I'll just try and turn this over and show you the bottom. I don't think nothing's got to fall out, it's quite secure. There you go, a few plates. And like I said, they made the best out of the pieces to make this little build quite sturdy and solid. And just have a little peek through there to get some of that Charms class atmosphere. There's Flitwick up the back there. That is really nice. That is perfect. That is just like the film. And there we are, just give you one last look, and that is a Hogwarts Castle Charms class. And I will be looking at a lot of Harry Potter sets in the near future. But I hope you liked this little video, and thank you very much for watching. And please do subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time.